A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, a new tale of two begins. The year is 5,500, and our tale starts on a small and insignificant world, Anchor 11, a perplexing world, really. The planet itself is small, but sees regular seasonal changes. However, the landmass of this planet consists of one large continent, a continent that sees barely any rain, even though the majority of this world consists of water. And so, for generations, wars have been fought over that very water, and this seemingly insignificant world, as of yet, hadn't impacted the galaxy in any real way. It was a RimWorld, in what was to be seen as a relatively lawless area of space. All across the continent, however, ancient ruins stood to tell a tale of an ancient civilization that once existed on this world. And so, by its far-flung nature, it called to those who wished to hide, to the scum and villainy, and even to the Rebel Alliance too. Yes, the Alliance nestled itself into the mountains, seemingly safe and secure, but the Empire was never far behind. The 304th Legion of the Empire established a stronghold in the Tenoxacroon Mountains to begin their search for the rebels who hid on this world. But this isn't a tale of empires or rebellions. No, this is a tale of two. Twins, in fact, Kinso Umbra and Jinso Umbra. So named Kin and Jin, the two twins had scrounged out a meek existence on Anchor 11 all their lives, only having just left their teenage years behind. That world would now forever change. Like many of the folk of Anchor 11, Kin and Jin were scavengers, pulling apart the ancient remains of this world and repurposing them. It was on the border of the Tenoxacroon Mountains and the Wander Sea that called so many people that Kin and Jin would find it. What is it, you may ask? Well, for starters, they found a factory, an old factory, barely working, but with parts that could be repurposed or even refurbished. But that is not what would bring great change to these two. No, it was a holocron, an artifact of condensed information used by two very old religions, the Jedi and the Sith. Yet this was no Jedi holocron. No, it had sat here for decades, centuries, maybe even a millennia. But now it was found. The words of the Lord of Hate, Tulok Horde, poured into the minds of Kin and Jin, a promise of power, and now a desire to attain it. And so it is here that our tale begins, with Kin and Jin, two force-sensitive twins, exposed to an ancient Sith holocron and poised to reform the old religion that was lost so long ago. And there shall only be two of them. They may have disciples, but these two will hold the knowledge. These two will conquer this world. These two would allow the Sith to rise again. Kia ora, Legionnaires, Rycon here, and welcome to a brand new RimWorld series. Here's our map, here's our starting base, and here are our two characters, Kin and Jin, two would-be Sith acolytes. And, well, this is our little holocron through which they attained this dark knowledge, which is already twisting and changing their minds. So, before we get any further along, let's have a look at Kin and Jin so that we might get a little bit more familiar with them. As we can see, something is awakening within Kin, and the same thing within Jin. That is the force that will eventually manifest itself. We are going to be going down the dark side path in this, and well, we're starting off with no lightsabers, which is going to be a big difference from how we started the previous Star Wars series on this channel. Having a look at Kin's bio here, we can see that he is good with plants, fantastic when it comes to melee, and he has some intellectual skill as well. A martial artist, force-sensitive, and with an iron will, Kin, for now, is the Dark Lord of the Sith. I know. It's a title. It's going to take a lot more for him to be able to earn that. And that's a role that both Jin and Kin are going to be competing for, as we are using ideology this time. And the Sith religion is its own thing. Having a look here, we can see that the memes of this religion are supremacist, pain is virtue, and blood court, which means that to be the leader, you have to compete. You have to have the best melee skill possible. And I believe that both Jin and Kin are very, very close, if not exactly the same. You can see the rest of the precepts of this ideology down below here, which, might be changing over time. And, this narrative, it doesn't really fit, but that's fine. On to Jin, we can see that she too is a martial artist who is force sensitive. However, Jin is brave instead of the iron will. Slightly different there. We can see that, Jin's melee is exactly the same as Kin's, so they are going to be competing for that leadership role between each other. Hopefully, no real bloodshed there, but there's undoubtedly going to be some. She's great at construction, cooking, crafting, and medical. So at the start here, we're going to be kind of split across the board, but ideally, the direction that we want to go in with Jin and Kin is having them focus purely on training and nothing else. Hopefully, we'll have other folks to take care of everything else. And the other big thing that we have here is a factory. This is a starting scenario that I've come across here, which has us stumbling upon an old and abandoned factory. This factory here seemed to process meat into, packaged meals of a sorts. We can also do humanoid corpses through this, but apparently it doesn't process them into food. So it might be a way to just get rid of corpses, but with our ideology, that you don't really mind corpses so much. You might also notice that we have Christina with us here, who is a quagga, a rare animal, it would seem, one that we can release to repopulate. But no, we're going to be holding on to Christina for now and having a look at the rest of the map that we have here. We have an ancient danger. We've got a few other old structures here, a whole heap of zebras down here, so that's interesting. These old ancient storage cylinders, most of the stuff, they're just props. We're not actually going to get any resources from them either. Things like this ancient war spider. We can destroy it. I don't know if we're going to get anything out of it. As you can see here to our east, we have this great lake, this inland sea, which means that we're only really going to have enemies coming from the other sides here. So we're going to try and keep our back towards the lake where we can. The lake, the sea, they're similar things. We also do have these old ancient security turrets. I don't know. Valuable parts have been looted or smashed. Okay, so we can't really make use of those, other than maybe just trying to take them apart, see what we can get there. We do have a turret in here, which will probably be moving outside, and a fire foam popper, no less. We do have doors here as well that might actually lead into more of this facility. Who knows, but we are going to need power, so maybe a windmill outside to get started, and it'd be really nice if we could get this hydroponics basin working so that we can get some rice going. It's time to focus on the basics. Jin and Kin, before learning the ways of the Force, we must first learn to survive. So to begin with, we're going to be tearing down some walls outside to make some nice cozy slab beds for us to rest upon in the night. It's going to be very important that we get a research bench built before too long, as we can power these things with a windmill, but we are going to need batteries to actually store that power. It's going to take a while before we can bring any of this factory equipment online, like quite a while in actual fact, and we need to make sure that we get all this stuff hauled in before nightfall. I think that should be enough. 30 is enough for one at this stage, so we're going to go and chuck down some basic slabs, granite slab bed, one here and one here. And for all we know, there could be a lot more to this place as well. Once we get power, we will be able to open these auto doors. You know what? We might actually be able to open them without it, so let's just have a look here. Oh, we can, and we've actually got some more steel in there, which is great. Just pop on down here, Jin. Okay. It looks like this area was probably caved in at some point. I'm going to ask for that to be mined. Ken will get to that eventually, but for now we are focusing on just making sure that this area is going to be nice and sealed off from the elements. And there we go. Thank you, Jin. It looks like you're going to be jumping into making the electric stove as well. I decided to go for electric versus a fueled stove because we have limited wood, and with this being a desert, there's not many trees, so that's not going to really be an option for us going forwards. So let's get that made for now, and that does mean that if we are able to bring in some fish, we'll be able to get them cooked up into some basic meals. Now, we can put corpses into these, both human and animals. The fish, I think we can just cook as is, so we don't need to worry about a butcher's table or anything like that for now. So we're just going to keep on moving in the darkness for the time being. Once we've got these beds made, we might have a look at trying to build a windmill outside just so that we can have some basic light too. There we go. First of our beds has been constructed, and it looks like we're going to work on that bench at the same time. I wouldn't mind getting some more of these granite walls torn down just so that we have access to some more blocks. Well, it looks like it's meal time already. And yeah, limited packaged survival meals. And the thing is, Christina here, our quagga, is going to be eating those too. So we're going to have to be a little bit wary about that. And in actual fact, we're probably going to try and keep her outside for the time being. Something else that we're going to have to worry about constructing, and this might actually be a good spot for it, are bathrooms, as we are running the Dub's Bad Hygiene mod. So we are going to need showers, we're going to need latrines and whatnot. And I think just getting a basic wooden latrine in here for now will do just fine. We could go for a granite one though. You know what? Let's see if we can do a granite latrine. Yeah, we'll try and hold on to the wood for as long as we can. We are going to need a well as well, and it's going to take 25, so we might actually just go with steel, place it outside, and look at making a tub too. We'll place you just to the side of the well there. 21 granite blocks, nearly enough for another bed. We might just need to look at some other structures to see what we can do when it comes to those. Well, as the sun starts to set, it looks like we might have just enough to get those built, but Jin's going to be focusing on that for the time being to start with, and honestly, getting a proper water source here is going to be important for us. As you can see, we do have groundwater on the map, so even though it's not going to rain here much, we still have access to aquifers deep beneath the earth. And we're going to really hope that we don't fail our construction here, that we get something of quality. And there we go, an excellent quality bed. Very nice, and it is going to frustrate me that they aren't facing kind of the right way, so we're going to see if we can just swap things around here. And it looks like the two of them are going to spend their evening just meditating by this limestone grand stele out here. Meditating, yes, and as we can see, something is still awakening here. Slowly but surely. It is when they use their skills that this starts to grow, and it depends on what they're kind of passionate about as to the rate that grows at. Jin's got a little bit more progression today, so maybe the position of Dark Lord of the Sith might be toppled soon. It really is just a placeholder more than anything when it comes to our ideology. For now though, that is our first day in the bag. The morning, we're going to have to focus on food and focus on power too. And there they go, sleeping in darkness in this unfamiliar factory, but it is a factory that will become our home before too long. And there we are, we're down to one more packaged survival meal. They do have some others on their person, I think. Yes, so that's good, but we're going to focus on getting some food today in the form of fish, while Jin works on getting this made. Yeah, they're just kind of hanging out, washing themselves, getting some water. Let's get some stuff done. So Ken is off towards the lake, towards this little miniature sea that we have. Now, is it a lake or is it a sea? Well, it says it's a sea, so I guess we can look at this as being salt water in a way. Yeah, Felicia's Wonder Sea, and we shall see what the sea holds for us. It's going to take a little while before Ken is very good at fishing, but we're going to leave him out here for the day, just trying to bring in as much food as possible. Meanwhile, Jin has got some power conduits laid outside and is going to be putting this wind turbine into action using some of those precious components that we have. We're hoping for a successful construction here. And there we go. It's an action. Well, it's not an action. There is no wind whatsoever at this stage, but it looks like there's maybe just enough to get some of these lights turned on. Now, we do have the hydroponics basin here at the moment. We're probably going to turn that off. Even the mini turret that we have here will designate to be turned off too. Same with pretty much all of these big power-hungry machines that we really won't be able to use until we have a fair bit of power going. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Enough for the electric stove, and that means that we can keep our wood for other kinds of, construction projects, things that desperately need wood. Yes, I do realize we could be using the hydroponics here, but if we have a power failure, which without batteries is likely to happen, we lose all that rice, so it's not really worth us focusing on that at this stage yet. And hey, look at that! Kin is back with his first haul, and it looks like it might actually be pufferfish. We're just going to be dumping up there for now. 16! Okay, that's at least 1.5 meals at this stage, so we need a little bit more than just that, so pop on back out there, my friend, and we'll look at cooking those this evening. Actually, thinking about our research, we've got a whole heap of it here, as you can see, but we are going to be wanting to go into batteries first of all before we look at anything else at all. Oh, and we've got ourselves a raid. Well. Now, I didn't state at the beginning, but we are playing on Randy Random, and we are playing on Blood and Dust. Caxigo. An enemy archer from the Mumbai Coalition. Well, this is going to give both Jin and Kin a chance to use their prowess with melee weapons and, get some more skill with the Force. So, let's get the two of them together. You've lost your tribal axe. That's a lie. I can see it there in your hands. I do like that we've got the red license side as well. Now, I think, yeah, you're heading straight on over towards us, aren't you? Or maybe not. And I'm just kind of noticing now, we do have a whole heap of steel floor over here. No, it's concrete. We might be able to get some steel back from that. So let's start to head over in the direction of the animatory, which we haven't had much use for yet. We might yet in the future. But Caxigo, we're going to try and see if we can get the jump on you. Well, it looks like Jin is arriving there first, which, you know what? Come hang out back behind here for now. Wait until your brother arrives. 2 versus 1 is going to be much better than anything. And because Kin is currently the leader, he does have these different abilities, combat command being one of them. We can create an aura that boosts the combat skills of everyone nearby. I feel like it's probably a good time to use that. And with that, we are going to go and charge Caxigo here. The two of them rushing around the corner. Kin, let's see if we can take some cover along the way. Looks like that arrow is going to nearly hit us regardless. Moving on in. Come on, Jin. There we go. Oh, a little bit of an attack there. Let's see if we can get you to move past here, Kin. And let's get attacking. Okay. Oh, a disarmament. Fantastic. Now, because they are martial artists, they can disarm as they are fighting. Now, we really don't want you to get away, so let's hope that we can actually catch up with these two. But damn it, you're fast, my friend. Bastard. Looks like he is going to... Oh, no, not quite. No. Damage to the nose there, and I think Kin might have got the killing blow there. Yes, having a look at the log here. Okay, yeah, he just died after that strike from Kin. So good job. We managed to get some cigars, we got some herbal medicine, and we now have a dead scout that we are going to need to worry about. Maybe. Now, we don't actually care about corpses. Having a look here, yep, we don't mind them. We don't mind them being around. So we can potentially use that to our advantage to demoralize our enemies if they are going to try and attack us. Something for us to consider. For now, though, we need to have a look at Kin. Okay, we do have a cut there. Okay, all right. We're going to have the two of them making their way back home because, Kin is going to need actual proper treatment after that. Let's get them back, eh? So Kin's bed, we're going to go and change to being a medical bed. We're going to send you back there to rest. And Jin, let's make sure that he actually gets proper treatment. We only have 15 pieces of medicine or 15 units of medicine. Jin is our best when it comes to medical with a skill of 8. So we're going to make sure that Kin gets the treatment that he needs. Okay, we've got a bedpan that we're going to have to get rid of there as well. I don't know if we actually have a dumping stockpile for that at the moment. Tending to Kin. Oh, you're going to grab the herbal medicine. Now, that was probably a poor move, me not grabbing that then. Honestly, I don't want to take the chance right now. I think we'll go ahead and just use the regular medicine. I'm just thinking about time and, we can go and grab that herbal medicine in the morning. 100% quality, fantastic. Now, for the rest of these here,
I reckon we can probably just go back to regular. So we can just say tend without medicine for the rest of those wounds, because it's just a crack. It's nothing that bad. Your brain has combat command. Well, that's wonderful, isn't it? Jin, you can go ahead and rest. The day is in the bag. We've got power, but, well, we don't have food right now, and that is going to become a big problem for us. Well, we've got a flash storm going on at the moment, and Jin is cooking up our first meal, and she gave it to her brother. That's super kind. Yeah. Well, let's keep on working. We don't actually have a latrine yet, so that's certainly going to be the focus first thing this morning. And you know what? I feel like, Kin, you're probably good enough to get back up, so I'm going to change your bed rest to just be a little bit further behind, because getting you out there and fishing, that's going to be our main goal today. In the evening, we might send these two out to try and see if they can bag a zebra. Yeah, and I'm kind of looking at our friend Christina here. We're Sith. We should slaughter it. I was going to say we'll release it to repopulate the wilds because it is a endangered creature, but I think we're going to have to do the thing. Yeah. Now, we could just keep Christina around for a little bit longer until we have a butcher's table up and running, but I think we're just going to go for it. Yeah. We'll make that happen, and we'll get a butcher's table put in too. Now, as for where we're going to put that butcher's table, honestly, I'm just thinking in here for the time being. We'll try and keep the area around there clean. These are sterile tiles, so I would hope that we're going to stand a better chance at keeping things clean. I suppose we'll see though, won't we? There we go. It is a fair amount of steel for us to be able to do that, but it is going to be necessary when it comes to keeping us fed. Now, the best way to do this would be to have Jin out fishing and have Kin back researching, but unfortunately Jin just can't fish or do anything with animals. It's just part of her background as being a junkyard mechanic as a kid, so we work with what we got. And there we go. It looks like we might have got some eels there, Kin. So if we have at least 14, we'll be good. And a wild man wanders in. His name is Wood, I see. And there we go. That will actually be enough. Kin, could I... there's no power. There's no power. Of course there isn't. Right, so this wild man, Wood, Wouter, over here, we could try to tame him. But then again, we are Sith. And do we just want to kill him? Look, here's the thing. He's got skills. He has skills. He could be useful. That's it. He could be useful. So maybe we try to see if we can convince him to join. Because we could try and tame him. It does take some animal skill, and it takes food, which we don't have right now. So as long as he isn't eating anything of ours around here, maybe we avoid the risk of injury just for now. A tough decision, but one that we've made nonetheless. It looks like Ken might be able to get one lot of fish in before the end of the day. We're going to be doing some late night cooking tonight, I think. That's if we are going to be cooking at all. We need 350 watts, which actually, we have. So maybe I have just kind of screwed up the... Yeah, I did. That's all I did. I screwed up the power. Jin, would you be able to prioritize cooking for us, please? Thank you. Let's get some meals going. I think we should be able to get another meal after that as well. Fantastic, wonderful, we can. Love to see it. And there we go. There's another meal for Kin there, and, well, it's not enough for another meal yet. Actually, no, it is. It is, just. So, we hold on to survival for now by a very small margin. Kin, I'd love to have you researching batteries tomorrow. We'll see if that can happen. Actually, yeah, no sleeping. No sleeping. The animals are asleep. And so with that, let's go for one of the zebras down here. Christina, we can slaughter anytime. For now, we'll try and see if we can take one of these. Okay, we are in position here. Let's get on either side. Get the two of you to melee attack the zebra. Okay, Kin has been attacked here. The other zebra is taking off. Okay, hopefully the injuries aren't that bad. It's taking revenge. They're kind of splitting the attention between it. 54, 84. Jin hasn't been touched, it's just Kin at this stage, and yeah, that zebra is going to go down. And just like that, it has Kin. Let's see. Oh, you do actually have a bite on your neck. So yeah, go back and rest, my friend. Jin, I need you to finish the zebra off, please. There we go. And let's go. We're not going to consume the zebra. We want to carry it back to a stockpile. And for now, we are going to allow corpses to be stored here too. Well, unfortunately, we still didn't manage to grab the herbal medicine from up here, as it is a decent distance away. Honestly, I'm thinking we just run the risk here, and we tend with our medicine for this instance. Let's see how good this tending's going to be. 51%, actually pretty good, all things considered. So you stand a good chance to be looking kind of okay after all of that. Go ahead, have a wash, and then get some sleep, Jin. Alright, looks like Jin is getting straight into the cooking there. That's great to see. We're going to need that butchering to get done too. Alright, let's see. How much meat are we going to get out of you? Okay, we've got some leather, which is fantastic, and a fair amount of meat at that. Okay, so we're going to try and process as much of that as possible. Kin, we're actually just going to have you research today, my friend. That way we can kind of keep an eye on his health as well, make sure that he's doing okay after the zebra attack. Yeah, we're going to be fine. 4 days, pufferfish and horse meat. Wonderful. Ah, and we have visitors. Okay, 2 visitors here, and they are not human. They are of the Gand species here. We have Fox and Vole. They have some items to trade. Now, they are not an enemy of ours yet, but they might become an enemy. We'll see what they have to offer, and we'll go from there. Oh, wonderful. And we have a psychic drone. Thank you, Randy. Thank you. So neither of our colonists have that much in the way of social skills, but we'll try to trade and see what Fox has on offer for us. Herbal medicine and pemmican. Now, I wouldn't mind trying to trade for some pemmican. The sling, we're not going to worry about. That's nice too, but it's not a focus of ours for now. I think what I would like to do is trade all those cigars here for pemmican. Oh, right, we need a little bit more. There we go. Sweeten the deal. Short bow. And deal done. We've got pemmican, just like that. Let's go ahead and get that hauled back on inside. And what I'm going to do is actually forbid it. Or at least that was the idea. Yeah. So drop that pemmican down there, thank you. Of course you took it, didn't you? You bastard. I should have known. There we go. Let's get you dropping that for now. It is forbidden. Fantastic. Back to work, my friend. And so yes, we could attack these 2 here, but that's not going to serve us yet. We have the memes of supremacy and the need to conquer, but we are in a weak position, and we need to recognize that weakness before we can build our strength. And we have an eclipse, an interesting sign, but one that won't impact us all that much. You know what? I don't think we're going to need the second lot of machinery. We are going to deconstruct this. We're going to get a whole heap of resources out of it. Yeah. Bit of a call, but I feel like that's going to be the right call for the long term for us, because then we can actually start to use this building for more than, well, our simple tasks. And to finish this day off, it looks like Kin is going to go for a little bit of a walk, taking in that evening air. His wounds nearly fully healed, and his connection to the Force growing very, very strong. Who's going to reach there first? I think we'll find out tomorrow. Oh, transport crash. Pope. Okay, a quarry worker named Pope has crashed in a transport pod nearby. Pope is suffering from the paralytic abrasia and will be unable to walk. She will recover naturally after many days. There is also a chance of a lucky quick recovery. Paralytic abrasia can also be cured by a special operation which requires a large amount of RimWorld medicine, so unlikely to happen. Willing to contribute once she has recovered, but will not leave voluntarily. Interesting. So we could have someone to join us here. Oh boy, that's tough. I think we might just be able to manage. We're going to accept. Yes, I know it is charity. Wood is hunting Pope. Oh, Wood? The wild man? Yup, he's taken off his clothes now, so he's definitely a wild man. we're going to make sure that we claim that shirt eventually. But you, my friend, well, that gives us a chance and an opportunity to fight here. Willow Pope here is completely unable to move. Let's just have a look at you. You've got some decent skill. The mining, the intellectual, you could just be our... you could be our researcher. You are a technophobe, though, which is, okay. Randomly punch mechanical devices. Maybe not the greatest, but I think we can make use of Pope here. We are going to have to defend her, though. So, let's get the two of them out here, because, yeah, Pope, we're going to get there pretty late. Oh, no. Yeah, that's not good. Let's hurry, Pope. Oh, no. That's very unfortunate. You are going to pay for this, my friend. Oh, and Pope is dead. Well, that just goes to show us that is a lesson. I feel like this is some kind of sign, a gift from the dark side. We left Wood alone earlier. We did. We could try to rest him. No. We will kill. We've learnt our lesson. We have learnt our lesson from the first time. You will die now. Jin's taken a bit of a hit, but the two of them should be able to take Wood down. Say hello to my little tribal axe. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah, just eat next to the downed Wood, Walter, Hammerreich. Do we want to keep you alive? Only 16. I mean, he could be useful. He could be useful. The problem is we have to tame him. He's not like a regular person on the map. He's kind of gone feral. In this instance, we will learn from our mistake and kill. Jin, will you do the honors? Before you leave, that would be fantastic. We could actually just get you to melee attack him to death. You know what? Let's do that instead. Because for one, it's going to improve your melee skill, and it's going to improve your connection to the Force because you are passionate about melee. So just go at it. And just like that, 2 more dead on the map. Well, Pope, didn't know you long, did we? So I think we will actually dig a grave for Pope, as without it, we are going to potentially have issues. We don't care about death because of our ideology, but still, I think the right thing to do in this instance. As for Wood, we'll leave him out there for now. Now that time has arrived, the time to name this settlement. I would love to know what your suggestions are for the settlement name and our faction name. For now, we will keep them as they are, but they ain't gonna stick. Well, Jin is fully healed and back up on her feet, which is great. We've gone through a fair amount of the meat, but I'd love to get some more of that cooked, so we're gonna get her to focus on that after she's done her morning routine here. Oh! Kin. Well. The Force awakens. Kin, Monk has discovered deep within themselves a mysterious power. Let's have a look here. So we can see that we are level 1, currently a grey user of the Force, not one way or the other. Now, I definitely want to get points into lightsabers in this. Lightsaber reflection is unbelievably good. However, right now, we don't have lightsabers. We will, but right now, we don't. So we are going to be looking into the dark side powers and deciding what we want to go into first. Lightning, not a bad start for dark side powers. The Force choke can be brutal as well. Drain sounds great. I think what we're going to try and do here is split the powers between Jin and Kin. For Kin here, we are going to start with that point in Force Lightning. Now, he will need to actually make sure that he charges up that Force ability that he has here. Jin, are you far behind? I don't think so. You got a little ways to go. You will get there though, and I think with a little bit of extra construction, that will certainly help. Jumping into furniture, we can see that we can make a meditation pad, a Sith meditation pad, and for now I think here works perfectly fine. Now, plain leather, we don't want to make it out of plain leather. What do we have here? Oh, plain leather. Okay, so we do have enough to make it out of plain leather. let's go ahead and ask for that to get created there. Jin, after you've just done this last little batch, will get you whipping that up for us. There we go. Oh, and instead of deconstruction, yeah, let's focus on that. Get that meditation pad put in place. And there we go, a Sith meditation pad. So Kin will be sure to get you meditating on that so that we can actually make sure that you have a fair amount of force available to you at any one time. Now, here it is. We can see underneath the current force pool, 65. And how much force do you need for this? 16? Maybe. Doesn't seem like a lot. Okay. I see. Oh, wow. Okay. We get a fair amount of supplies back from that. A whole heap of slag, some mechanoid components, regular components as well. Okay. Interesting. Well, a welcome sight to have all that extra steel. The hoppers we can go ahead and take apart as well, which is going to mean even more steel for us. And that means that we're going to be able to build things like dining tables and other such useful items. There we go. Okay, while deconstructing more of the factory equipment here, Jin has had the Force awaken in her too. Now, as for Jin, what do we want to do? Honestly, Force Drain sounds really nice too. Force Storm, that's great, but I think that's what we're probably going to go for with Kin. So, Force Drain or Force Choke. Force Choke can be fantastic because it stuns the enemy, which can be pretty big. But honestly, Drain, I think we're going to go for that. I haven't used Force Drain before, so there we go, a start. And so, with the factory, an absolute mess, and Jin wanting to change her style, so we'll need a styling bench before too long. We have the start of this colony coming together, but there is a lot of work to do here, a lot of things to clean up, a lot of designing to do, and I'm going to be doing that in between episodes. Now, I'm going to be trying to release these episodes a little bit shorter and a little bit more frequently, so the day after tomorrow, you'll have the second episode of this. So, as we look at wrapping up today, I would love to know your suggestions for our faction name and for our base name. Our overall goal for this series is to take Jin and Kin across this world, conquering every settlement, spreading the way of the Sith. It begins here in this small abandoned factory of two twins, the rule of two, but not a master and an apprentice, two masters working together to restore the old way. A messy start for us, but a start all the same. So please do join me in the next. For now, I have been Rycon. You have all been awesome. And until next time, may the Force be with you.